Today's video is going to be about pre-workout, and to see if it is worth it for you, stay tuned. As you guys can tell, I don't sound too energized. I'm completely gassed. I spent the entire morning playing pickleball, completely drenched. So this would be the perfect time to take pre-workout if I was going to the gym. Now let's start off by talking about what pre-workout actually is. You've probably been to a gym and seen someone like pour powder into their shaker bottle, shake the cup and drink it before their workout. You've probably walked into supplement stores and seen like a whole shelf of pre-workouts. Your friends have probably talked about it, family members have probably talked about it. But what is pre-workout? Pre-workout is a supplement that is supposed to help you with energy and focus. If you're new to fitness, you're probably gonna get introduced to pre-workout at some point in your journey. So in this video, I wanna break down what pre-workout actually is, when it can help, and if you actually need it if you're a beginner in the gym. At the end of the day, pre-workout is just something that's gonna give you energy to get you through your workout. The main ingredient in pre-workout is caffeine, and caffeine is found in coffee, it's found in green tea. So these drinks people take on a daily basis to get their day started. So if you notice, a lot of your friends, a lot of your family members would drink coffee right before work. Right when they wake up, they'll drink it because it'll give them that extra boost. Now, coffee contains about 80 to 100 milligrams of caffeine in one cup. Pre-workout, on the other hand, can contain up to 350 milligrams. So, it's about 3 cups of coffee right there. But that's what pre-workout is. That's all it is. It's just, something that's gonna give you energy and give you focus to get you through your workout. It's not some, magical supplement that's gonna give you muscles. It's none of that. It's not like a PED. It's not a performance enhancement drug. It's not something that's considered cheating, As long as you know that, as long as you're going into it with the knowledge that pre-workout is just something that's going to give you energy to get you through your workout, then you're solid. That's a good foundation. Now let's talk about when it can actually help. Like I've mentioned, we're going to have those days, man. We're going to have those days where we don't want to get out of bed on the weekends to go to the gym. We've had a long day at work and we're drained mentally, we're drained physically from either standing all day, from sitting all day, from moving around, long 8 to 10 hour shift. And then after, you still want to get your workout in. You see, those are the times when pre-workout is actually going to come in and help. Do you actually need it as a beginner? I'm going to be honest with you. I started working out when I turned 17. That's when I first started going to the gym, getting my routine established and building that foundation. And I didn't start taking pre-workout until I was 18 because, I'm going to be honest with you again, I was a little scared of the little label on the pre-workout that said must be 18 years or older. I was that person, I was that person that always was kind of like scared of what was going on, scared of trying something that I shouldn't be doing, So of course I would stay away until I turned 18. But do you actually need it as a beginner? No, 1000% you don't need it as a beginner. Give yourself some time, work on that habit and the consistency, and slowly start introducing pre-workout if you're interested. Don't just start taking it because you think it's going to help you get some gains. It's not that. Focus on your form, focus on your diet, focus on all these other bigger factors that's going to help out with your journey. If you start taking pre-workout too early, you're kind of gonna like depend on it, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to depend on pre-workout. You don't want to have to take it every single time before your workout, because I kid you not, I did also go through that phase. I'm still kind of in that phase, but I've kind of worked it out where I'm on it for a few months, then I cycle off of it, and then I'm back on it after a month of taking a break. So you just got to find your balance, but you definitely don't want to start off early on it because you're going to build the habit of relying on it, and again, that's not the habit that you want to focus on. You want to focus on showing up. You want to focus on your diet, eating cleaner. You want to focus on, your form, slowly progressing with weight. All of these other important factors is what you mainly should focus on. Now, if you've been consistent at the gym and you've been going for a few months and you've built that foundation, yeah, I would highly recommend trying pre-workout to give you that extra boost and to take your workout to the next level. Now, I recommend starting off with some samples. There's a lot of companies that provide samples. There's a lot of nutrition shops that you can go to the front desk and be like, hey, you have some samples of pre-workout that I can test out. They're more than likely gonna have a bunch of different pre-workouts and they're gonna give you some samples. Another thing you can do is go to any Fit Expo. I live in Los Angeles, and they usually have the LA Fit Expo once a year. These are perfect opportunities to see all of these other supplement companies, go up to their table, and they'll be giving out free samples. I've gone to the Fit Expo and I've walked out with a bag full of pre-workout samples. You know, the samples will last me, you know, a month or so. You know, that's a whole tub. So if you have a Fit Expo around you, I highly recommend going there, getting some samples, and trying out different supplement companies. Again, you're gonna find out what works for you. You're gonna find out how your body reacts. And again, you want to start off small and work your way up. And if you've been taking pre-workout for a long time now, I recommend cycling off of it because your body is probably used to it. You don't want to be taking pre-workout for a year straight. You want to cycle off of it, let your tolerance go down, and, you know, slowly build up that tolerance again over time. So at the end of the day, pre-workout is not necessarily bad. It's just something that you shouldn't depend on every single day, every single workout. It's not gonna give you the ultimate gains, but I do recommend taking it once you've established your consistency and the habit of showing up. So let's talk about the downsides of taking pre-workout. Pre-workout is a stimulant, and if you've been taking it for a long period of time, your body's gonna get used to it. And as your body gets used to it, you're gonna have to increase the dosage, meaning you take pre-workout once a day for a whole month at 200 milligrams. The effects of the pre-workout are slowly going to diminish over time, meaning by the end of the month, the 200 milligrams isn't going to hit the same as it did when you first started taking it. So what do? You're going to increase the dosage. You're going to go up to 300 milligrams, you know, so on and so forth. So what you want to do is you're going to take it for a month, and then you're going to cycle off of it for a month. You know, take it for a couple of months, then you're going to cycle off of it for a month. You don't want to build the habit of taking it every single day and increasing the dosage. That is not healthy. You know, sometimes show up to the gym without taking pre-workout. Challenge yourself. Get used to being uncomfortable. That's going to help you not rely on it. I've done it a lot of times. I've shown up to the gym without taking pre-workout. And yeah, it was hard at first, but once you're in the zone, you're locked in, you're gonna get your energy naturally. You're gonna be in that environment that you want to be in. You're gonna get the hype of the music around you, and you know that's gonna be your source of pre-workout. Another downside of taking pre-workout is that your body will most likely crash after consuming a lot of caffeine. To me personally, my body doesn't crash as often. I can take pre-workout and, you know, I'll slowly get out of it. Normally, I'm not gonna be super tired and have to, you know, knock out and go to bed. However, I do have to be aware of when I take pre-workout. There's been times where when I take it at 6 p.m., 7 p.m. for that night gym sesh, and I could not go to sleep. And the next morning I have to be up early, and it's a whole ordeal, man. So you want to be aware of how your body reacts to it. You don't want to be taking it, you know, a few hours before going to bed, because you're gonna have a hard time sleeping. So at the end of the day, pre-workout isn't something you necessarily need, but it's gonna help you, give you that energy, that extra push when you need it, when you're super tired, when you don't feel like going to the gym, when you've had a long day at work, when you need that extra push. That's when I recommend taking pre-workout. Now, do you need it as a beginner? No, focus on your consistency, focus on showing up to the gym, working on that perfect form, working on your diet. These are the things that are more important than taking a supplement like pre-workout, because pre-workout is not gonna be the magical supplement that's gonna help you make gains right away. No, you gotta focus on the things that I just mentioned. That's what you gotta focus on. So if you made it to the end of this video, I hope you have a better understanding of what pre-workout is and if it's right for you. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.